15th of the Town of New Canaan Police Commission. Paul Foley is participating by phone and camera. First order of business tonight is the approval of the minutes from our prior meeting, which was held on October 18th. Do you have any comments or changes to the minutes?
Yeah, I had a comment, and it just seemed as though it says on the first paragraph where it says Mr. Mann has spent, the town spent $50,000 already on this. Just seems like a large number. Is that true that we spent that much on this project?
We've contracted for 50,000. I haven't been invoiced for 50,000. We've contracted 50,000.
And is that for the Rotary and other things?
The mini roundabout was $30,000 with $20,000 for
Got it. For the study. Do we have to vote on that Rotary? The commission?
Yeah, that's not right now we're working through the preliminary design. Then we'll come back and discuss it before the commission.
Okay, so we're not committed to spend the money.
We're not committed at present. No, we're working towards them giving us a preliminary. It's a phased contract.
Got it. Okay, thanks. I'm good. I'm good with the minutes. So,
Okay,
Yep.
all right. Need a motion to approve the minutes as written. Okay,
Here.
a second.
here,
All in favor?
aye.
All right, our minutes are approved. Next order of business, Chief, the monthly reports.
Reports, year-to-date budget, we're on track. We are still trending slightly high on overtime, but that's should be leveling off. But everything else seems to be on track.
Yep.
Cents, that's on track for being a third of the way through the budget year. Animal control and dog fund are also well within budget. The staffing report, as you can see, we're yet again, which leads to the overtime discussion. We're minimum shift 65% of the time for October, 75% of the time in September, and 65% of the time in June, because we didn't do one for August. The staffing report, I think that was probably we had the
Right, we didn't have a meeting in August.
So, you know, we're just working with some light shifts, and that creates contractual overtime, unfortunately. Monthly statistics seem to be on par year to date from this year to previous year, and in most areas. Nothing noteworthy in any categories.
I
Right.
just had two questions on one. The motor vehicle violations went more than doubled from 159 to 320. Is there any particular reason for that?
There's lots of factors. If you look year to date, we're 2591, whereas last year we were 2485. So
Yeah,
you know, pretty close.
yeah.
Then yeah, I think we did a click it or ticket waive this past month, and distracted driving. We had a distracted driving grant. There's multiple variables that affect those month to month.
Okay.
Extra duty aging, the usual suspects. We ought to look into burns. They seem to be lagging a little bit. They've got a few bills that are 90 to 120 days out, but they're usually pretty good though.
Is that for the water?
I'm not sure what it's for burns construction, but they're
Yes, find out if it's for water or gas. I'll talk to the project managers.
yeah, they're total 192,000. But you know, 43, you know, about 110,000 60-day plus. So
Probably the grant. I'll talk to their water manager.
yeah, they're pretty good though.
Yeah.
So. And false alarm seems to be looking good, at least you know, the ones that have been hanging around that are over 120 that I think are probably write-offs at this point. But nothing as far as bills that are outstanding. That's all I have for a report.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Next order of business, topic for discussion is the Conrad Road update and Gertie's Road traffic concerns. Chief, do you want to?
Sure, yeah,
Tell us what's been
so, lots happened since the last meeting. We, due to the interest of time and, the upcoming holidays, we wanted to take some sort of action. So that's why we, after the last meeting, we collectively met and determined that we would like to do something for the area and see what the impact would be. So that was when we decided to temporarily close off Conrad at Whiffletree. Preliminary signs showed that it was offering some improvement. Obviously, there was no traffic going through Conrad. It did have some distributive effect on some of the surrounding roads, Danvers and Putnam Road, and while people were getting used to it and finding their way around the new blockage. So, but we did get overwhelming negative feedback from some of the surrounding neighborhoods, Gertie's Road, Danvers, south of the Y neighborhood, if you will. So that and it became very, very negative very quickly. So we determined that it was starting to pose neighbors against neighbors and roads against roads, and something that we weren't comfortable with, something that we didn't feel was something that we should be engaging in, and it was certainly not the purpose of doing this exercise. You know, one of our main failings was we didn't recognize that it would affect the bus schedule. We thought it would alter some, one or two of the routes, minor. We weren't aware that it was going to affect some of the pickup and drop off times as much as 10 minutes, which is very significant and very impactful, and it's something that we weren't aware of going into it, and we should have been aware of it, but weren't. So that was a lot of the negative feedback that we received from that. So, and understand, we shouldn't have thrown that on people on such short notice. That being said, last night we held an informal meeting here in the classroom and spoke to probably close to 40 members of that whole entire community, and answered a lot of questions. I think it was a good meeting. It was a healthy meeting. It was, everybody said what they had to say and answered a lot of questions. But I'll let Andrew kind of take over. Andrew's been spearheading most of this and doing a lot of the lion's share of the work. He's spent an inordinate amount of time working on this, along with our shifts are working a considerable amount of time. We're spending a lot of resources down in this area to try to come up with some sort of resolution, along with considerable taxpayer dollars to try to come up with a solution. So Andrew,
well, one thing we promised everyone last night, as best we could, we would give you guys the message that came out of the room, which was diverse, and everybody had kind of a different opinion. There was multiple different ideas. One idea that we came up with is we have access to the traffic box at the light with South and Gertie's. So periodically, we're going to try and see if we can ease the traffic during that time period in the morning to let the traffic flow better on Gertie's up through from Gertie's up through South onto the Parkway.
Does that require state involvement?
No, not if we do it just periodically. Just when there's a traffic issue, we have the right to
Okay.
that box. We have the keys for it. And again, that's not something we can do on a daily basis. We have power issues, as the chief noted, with our staff. Usually at minimum shift, so we'll do it. We've noticed that Wednesday, Thursday are the heaviest days for traffic on the Parkway, which then are the heaviest days of traffic on Gertie's and Conrad. So if we'll see if that affects. Tigers had engagement with DOT several times back and forth on trying to improve the timing of the light, as again we've noted several times is the big issue, that the light is, you'll see no traffic on South Ave, and yet traffic will be backed up to Conrad or past Conrad on Gertie's, and it'll take upwards of 5 minutes on the average to get through that during the heaviest period of traffic, which is not very efficient. So that's the main issue that we see is the light. Now, again, as the chief mentioned last night, that could have an opposite of effect, and if we increase the speed of flow through Gertie's, it may actually send the traffic apps to send people that way, because it's moving efficient. So we don't know what will happen. So we're gonna try that and see what happens. We're also engaged with the T2 Traffic Center from the University of Connecticut. Just to get a different perspective on it. They have a lot of experience with all over the state with helping municipalities deal with multiple traffic issues. And they noted that traffic apps through side roads to get to the highways is one of their main complaints. So hopefully they'll be able to give us some more feedback that'll help us figure out the problem. Also, the residents, the majority of the residents requested that we have no further closures in the area. Also that we revisit measures to be taken on Conrad Road for their speed and volume problems. And again, I think Tiger said that we're gonna revisit with the engineers, H&H, to see if they can get more assistance to us. Also, we were talked about having the establishment of a school or pedestrian zone on Putnam Road. Tiger could speak to that better. He did a good job last night explaining that. Also came up to have sidewalks on the remainder of Whiffletree and Conrad Roads to expand the sidewalk in that neighborhood when they do the sidewalk improvement plan and extend the sidewalks up and take it up Conrad to South Avenue to provide safer travel for pedestrians, kids or anyone who's walking, jogging. And also, obviously, the police department will continue periodic selective enforcement and we'll put up our speed sentry signs. And other than that, we would have to discuss further with the engineers and you for decisions.
Okay,
And we also promised everyone there would be no vote tonight, so hopefully you guys will be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the traffic light will be an experiment conducted in the mornings, is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, usually it's basically the hour of 7:30 to 8:30 is the heavy traffic. And that's again, usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
okay. So it'd be similar to what we do at Farm Road, right? Where we have somebody there that,
Again, I mean, and that's backed up every day. That's unavoidable. Free schools
Yeah,
week during rush hour and people are
Yep.
trying to park away as well and get into town for work. So you're hit from all four sides. But again, that's covered by an employee that, a crossing guard that's there Monday through Friday. We can't see South English. But we'll do what we can.
One of the issues that was discussed was the school bus. People were very upset about how people are going past the school buses and there's
Yes, Some of that is a communication issue, I think, and if there's a gap in communication between us and the Board of Education bus coordinator. I think we need to work together better with him to kind of figure out how these motor vehicle violations with school buses are reported. And we did a thorough check in-house of our complaints, and we're enforcing the school bus violations on a regular basis. So.
well, I'm looking at the monthly statistics. It says something for October, it was 21, and for September it was 10, so obviously it had gone up. Now, what I would like a clarification on is when somebody passes the school bus and they're supposed to be stopped, there's a video. Now, does the bus driver give that video to Roy and does Roy automatically send it to you guys? Or is this something that only when it's requested?
So the bus drivers come in with the video to us, their process in-house, they would ask.
Okay,
Yeah, so the bus drivers alert Roy that they had an incident where a person, or they believe that a person passed a stop school bus. They will be given the video to bring to us and give a statement to an officer. And we have on record a number of reports from multiple people that Roy Walter has told people that the police are unwilling to prosecute these or unwilling to investigate these, which is patently false. Every one of the complaints that have come in have been investigated. Now, some of them we can't take action on. Due to the statute, we can't take action on anything over to 10 days old. Sometimes the video doesn't show the license plate, so we can't take action on it. When we can take action, we do take action. But every one that comes in, we do process that complaint.
I could speak to just this school year alone. We've had a total of 33 reported incidents to the police department. I can't speak about what the Board of Education has got. We've had 33 reported, 9 were issued the infraction, 16 were considered a no violation after the officer observed the video, and 8 were no action. And of the 8 no actions, 5, the plate was not readable, as the chief mentioned. 2 were beyond the 10-day enforcement window, and 1, the complainant left the lobby without seeing an officer. They came in and just left, so.
One of the other things that was brought up last night was some frustration where the parent witnesses this happen and calls the police department in, and it sounds like this is where some things are slipping through the crack that we're gonna tighten up on, that perhaps they were told that they have to call the bus company, or putting the onus back on the parent, which shouldn't happen. And if the parent calls us, witnesses a bus violation, if they can give us enough information, we should be able to follow up with the bus company. We shouldn't be putting it back on the parent. So if that in fact did occur, that was a failure on our part that we're working to correct as we speak. So, you know, there was frustration from some of the parents, and we're going to do some proactive enforcement on that. That's not something that we can tolerate.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, we have some members of the public here, or if you're here on the Conrad Road or the Gertie's issue and you'd like to speak.
Open up question.
Okay, anybody? What, and what's your name?
They just want they covered it and talked about it a lot last night. Just the speeding on Putnam is a big concern. Just because that south of the Y area does not have school buses after the break. They're not a lot. So speeding concern for walking. The youngest are a couple of 9 years old, they have to walk. Going into 5th grade, that's young 10. And then just the kids going south as well. So we talked about it last night, just the speeding is out of control.
And that's sort of a separate issue, being that Putnam Road, although Putnam doesn't see nearly the same level of traffic volume that Gertie's and Conrad does, and for very different reasons. We believe that a lot of the Putnam traffic is people avoiding Farm Road and trying to get to the schools. Go up Putnam out to South Avenue to get to Saks or the schools, because at that time of day, Farm Road is just traffic congestion with everybody driving to the schools, bringing the kids to schools. So it's another issue. So, you know, there's a lot going on down there in the morning for a variety of reasons that we're gonna focus some attention on. And certainly when we can have some more resources devoted to Putnam Road, which we will, we'll do some traffic enforcement there as well.
Right, we were also asked to look at a big block crosswalk on either at Danvers or at Butler. I went out there today. There's right now I've got ramps on either side at Butler. I have to check again at Danvers, make sure that they're both compliant, but the thought was to put a mid-block crosswalk there because basically everyone's shedding across Putnam to get on that side of the sidewalk on that side to then get to the schools. Because from 4th grade on, they're within that range of there's a sidewalk they have to walk. So we're looking at that commission at that one time for approval to put in a big block crosswalk at one or both of the locations. We'll go out there and take a look. I went out there today, saw that I had at least the infrastructure in place, which is a lot better, you know, just don't have the striping. So the thought is to come back in and ask you at that point in time, to put the mid block in and then put the signage up and striping for you.
And someone gave this statistic last night. We don't know if it's true or not, but we can certainly just check with the Board of Ed that there was approximately over 100 kids in that area that were required to walk to school. So that's a significant number. It's a large neighborhood that does funnel across that road. So if it is seeing some heavy traffic in the morning, we want to provide at least a safe crossing point for them.
So if you put it on both of those streets, that automatically kind of like becomes a calming.
We wouldn't put it on both streets. We do one. You don't want to put two.
It'll probably to John's, but probably too close to put them on both. But we'll take a look.
Gotcha.
You know, but yeah, it gets a little bit tough. Can't say it's going to be a calming nature because we're having a problem with Saks where we've got the rapid rectangular flashing beacons. We've got a school monitor in the street, kids crossing from Field Press, you know, Farm Road on one side of Field Press across the stacks and parents for his parents. Because those are these basically parents bringing their kids to school, one of the three schools. Going through the crosswalk while kids are in the crosswalk, while the lights are flashing. So, you know, I can't say it's gonna be a pure traffic countermeasure, because that comes down to how much more can we do at that point in time. We have the most effective traffic calming measure in a rapid rectangular flashing beacon out there. They're not adhering to it. That's you know, that's hard to spell. It's hard to stop. Yes.
Hey,
But
Chief,
certainly another thing, we can take some enforcement action on.
Yeah.
Yes, Paul?
Chief,
Yes.
is there any way to record or figure out how many parents are dropping their kids off at Saks versus putting their kids on a bus? I mean, is it more this year than previous years, or, you know,
I
it
don't-
seems to be, I mean, I see it back up in front of my house too, and it backs up for 15 or 20 minutes, and it's all sort of high school, South School, you know, Saks, and it's all, you know, a parent with one kid in the car or two kids in the car. And
It's been that way for my entire 30
yeah,
years.
I know,
Yeah,
yeah.
it really has. And the numbers, I don't know. You know, maybe bus company, Roy could get those statistics. I don't know how many are supposed to be on a bus versus how many
Yeah.
actually are. I don't know if they track that number at all or not, so.
Hmm.
But what would you do with that data anyway? We can't make
Yeah,
people.
I'd be just concerned that, you know, to get back to Board of Ed and maybe have them go back to parents and say, hey, guys, you know, put your kid on the bus.
Well, anecdotally say that, and, you know.
Yeah, then nothing happens. Yeah, I know.
Again,
Well, Paul, by your neighborhood on 106 is where I commute every morning. I mean, a sidewalk would alleviate a lot of that. Because some of the people that pull out and they're like literally just pulling out of their driveway, going around the corner, drop off their kids at the high school. If there was a sidewalk, all those people on 106, I'm sure a few kids can walk and that could alleviate some of the situation.
need to widen Old Stanford Road too, and make a
Yeah.
left turn lane.
Yeah.
Lots of traffic things.
Yes.
But it's all for about 15 or 20 minutes. That's it. I mean, that's it. It's a 15-minute problem that I see anyway.
Yeah, some
Any
more
comment?
people.
Yes,
Anyway,
that I noticed about on that, but once you guys started this experiment with closing the road, all of a sudden Waze and Google Apps seem to give student values as an option for traveling across. Whereas up until 2 days before that, for as often as we've monitored it, we've never once seen
Yeah.
any of the roads in Darien show up. So somehow they figured out a way to send the traffic up to 30s and Conrad. I don't know if it's because they have speed bumps or if there's another. But it's interesting how in the last week, now we're seeing that show up as an option.
Yeah.
So I think it's alleviated volume on Gertie's as well as Conrad.
That, like I said last night, that was kind of the hope to see if this closure of Conrad would somehow affect the Google and Waze algorithm to push the traffic to avoid Gertie's altogether, but we just didn't have time to do that. And, you know, things went south after.
Hey.
So.
I have a Tiger question. Tiger, how much longer is the Merritt going to be under construction? Because I think that's part of the problem, because it's so constricted there with the barriers up. Is this another 3 months, 6 months, year till the Merritt's opened up there and finished?
At
So I think
least,
that'll help the traffic move quicker as well.
so at least 6 months, if not longer.
Yeah, okay.
I'll verify with the project manager on where they are on their contract timing. But they've got a good distance to go, a good time. distance to go.
I could say, as far as having the property quicker before we try to stop. So I understand the flow with the light up at Gertie's, that'll work. And the flow with the Merritt opens back up, but we're still not addressing the schools. And the habits that were formed with people coming through aren't going to stop.
Yeah.
So from Little Tree and Conrad up to South is a major problem.
Yep.
And even if we did get sidewalks, you still have kids crossing over 1, 2, 3, 4 streets to get to school.
Yep.
So I don't see that ability for traffic calming. But just wanted to keep that in mind for as far as traffic calming is concerned. I don't see.
And like we said at the beginning, that there's multiple problems on Conrad, the volume in the morning and the speed in the afternoon, generally speaking. But we recognize that there's multiple problems, and that's what we were trying to relay last night, that Conrad Road is experiencing real issues that are not just made up or dramatized. There is a volume issue that's very significant, and a speeding issue, and there's no sidewalks, and the intersection at Whitfield Tree and Conrad is huge and allows cars to zip through it rather quickly. So there's multi-layered and a lot of variables. Recommend it.
Kind of keep the focus there.
Yeah, no, we understand. We're not losing focus.
Okay, any other discussion? Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next order of business is a vote on completion of the probationary period for Lieutenant Milligan. Can I get a motion to approve that?
Sure.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Joe.
second.
Go ahead, Chikava, I'll second.
Okay,
I approve.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Approved. Next order of business is completion of the probationary period for Sergeant Lopez. Can I get a motion?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, a second. Paul, you
Yes.
second? Okay,
Yes.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Approved. Next order of business is the update on the building renovation and training facility. Who's gonna tell us about
We are on track today. Our radio vendor Norcom moved their prime site radio system from the upstairs attic area to an off-site location that was planned, that was part of the precursor to the building renovation, because that's as it says in the name, prime site is the primary guts of the radio network. So that couldn't stay here during construction, and that's been moved off-site. So that was very successful today. It went seamlessly, no issues.
Great.
We are on track to end of the month and move into 39 Locust. Everything seems to be on track over there. They've completed their construction, the minor construction that they had to do over there. So we're forward to begin the move, which is going to be stressful and interesting for a couple of days or weeks, but we'll figure it out. You know, we prepared as much as we could prepare, and we've got as many things buttoned down as we could. But as with any renovation and any move, things are going to be tumultuous for a few days. But we're pretty resilient. We'll figure it out. But you guys have anything else to add?
No, I think just the records and property have done a good job purging a bulk of files that we no longer need, so it's just less weight to carry. And yeah, the chief said we had a bunch of meetings today, different meetings, and everything's on track to move at the right pace, and it will be quite an adjustment, but I think we're planning for as many people as possible at this point, so. Okay.
You think end of the month?
Yeah, start moving into the month.
Yeah. Okay. All right,
No, sorry.
go ahead.
Tim. Just on the training facility, we were a little bit, seem to be on hold on that. And let's let the new sort of selectmen get involved in helping us resolve that issue. As soon as that happens, then I think that can move forward.
Okay,
I just don't want to take our eye off that ball at all.
right.
All right. Thank you.
All right, next order of business is the quarterly meeting waiver for Public Act 23146 SB 1162, which involves conducting quarterly meetings with stakeholders in the municipality to encourage information sharing, strategies to reduce gun violence in New Canaan, improve responsiveness and accountability of law enforcement to the residents and so forth. And then part of the provision of the law states that the chief of the municipal law enforcement unit, the chief executive officer of the municipality served by the unit, and the civilian police review board serving the municipality, if any, may agree that a meeting is unnecessary. So, I suppose, I don't know if under the statute, we're considered to be a civilian police review board or not, but maybe we are. I
You
don't
are.
know.
No, we are. We are, because we are oversight. So yeah, we are it. There's
Okay.
no need of creating another one. Right.
No.
This
Okay,
is an effort to create roundtables and just, community discussions regarding gun violence. Fortunately, we don't have that issue here in Canaan, and certainly if we did, we would have enough community engagement as we're seeing, just from
Yeah.
minor traffic issues, we're having community engagement. So certainly if we had issues with gun violence, we would have those things. And if God forbid ever does become necessary, we can revisit and retract this, but I don't feel that there's a need to have quarterly roundtable meetings with the community regarding
Yeah.
gun violence.
so does our new first selectman wish to weigh in on this?
I'll wait till I read the whole thing.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, I think we're gonna vote.
No, we're voting to.
No, we're voting to
waive holding.
the waive.
Oh, the cold, gotcha.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
gotcha.
But,
Okay.
but just so the press understands, we have monthly meetings that are open to the public, and we're very open to the public. And the chief and Andy and Joe have been very open to the public. So I think, there are communities that might need this legislation. I don't think we're one of them. So,
yeah, I would agree with that.
so do we
Okay.
need a vote then to waive?
Yes,
Just to put it on the record? Or I'll make a motion to waive.
I
now
second.
what the law seems to say is that the chief, the chief executive officer of the municipality, which I guess is you, Deanna,
yeah.
and the board
That's us. Yeah.
have to agree. So I guess the question is, do we all agree that we can waive this?
The chief executive until the 21st.
So we can
Technically, it's
we can
not
agree on it,
until
and then we can
the
forward it to her.
Okay,
When she does come into office.
okay,
We're not under any time constraint with this.
right, okay.
So
Okay.
should we say that we?
I guess we can vote as the board
Yeah.
in favor of the waiver. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to waive.
Okay,
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so
Aye.
the board agrees and votes to waive. The chief, you're on record as recommending we waive, and then Deanna, when you're officially,
I was support.
okay,
Thank you.
okay, okay. Okay, any other matters?
I have one thing. I sent you a email this afternoon. We received last week, Sergeant Mitchell and I attended the conference on accreditation enforcement in Washington to receive our 10th accreditation award. We've been accredited since 1992, and this award letter came to me this week, and clear, just to summarize and read one of the paragraphs, CLIA accreditation is a continuous process and serves as the foundation for a successful, well-managed, transparent, community-focused public safety agency. To this end, an agency must maintain its accreditation status by remaining in compliance with CLIA standards at all times. This is a 4-year process. 3 of the years are virtual, where files are shared electronically with the council. And this previous year, the 4th year, is much more intensive, and they do an on-site
Right.
review. We had the Kalia Commissioner come out and review our standards and speak with our public. And we passed due to no short effort by Sergeant Mitchell. He does the work of probably 3 people in that office between training, recruitment, and the accreditation manager. He really puts time and effort in, and it's kind of a unsung hero type of thing. He just kind of grinds away at it all the time, every day, every week. He's looking at these things. If he's not scheduling interviews with new candidates or maintaining all the training for all of our officers, it does a tremendous job, and it's not glamorous. It's not what you would call glamorous police work by any standard, but he loves doing it and does a tremendous job with it. And through his dedication, we're reaccredited. So
Excellent.
share that, and we're going to put that out to the
And
press and the public.
not every police department receives this.
Not nearly every police department. There's, I think, 19 in the state of Connecticut out of the 93. So we are one of the few, and we are at a high level. We're at an advanced level.
Yep.
When we were out there, Hartford Police Department just became accredited the first time. And they're at a lower tier, obviously, it's the first go around, but we are at a high tier. We've been, like I said, we've been accredited for 30+ years. That's
Fantastic.
a tremendous thing for us. So we're very proud of that.
Great.
Congratulations.
Quietly so.
Yeah.
Well done.
Again, congratulations.
Any other matters?
That's all I have.
Any executive session matters?
Could give you a couple of quick updates on a couple of things, but not critical. Just
Should
a
we go to
couple of-
executive session?
Yeah, just briefly, I can just give you a couple of updates.
Okay. All right. So I guess we need a motion to go to executive session.
All right, motion to go into executive session.
Vote to adjourn,
Now
Pardon?
we can.
adjourn the meeting.
Now
Adjourn,
motion to
Oh,
adjourn.
don't we come out of executive
You are.
session first?
you are,
Just did.
We are.
you're
Okay,
public,
we came out.
yes,
So motion to adjourn.
perfect.
Agreed. Second.
Okay, thank
We
you.
also, thank you.